HFY Stories, The New Era. The epic saga continues. The stars gleamed like a tapestry of diamonds across the void, their light a testament to the infinite stories of the galaxy. Among them, humanity had risen, thrived, and now stood at the precipice of a new chapter in their history. Prologue, The Legacy of Sol. Humanity had faced annihilation countless times, yet every time they had endured the first interstellar wars against the Zilthari, the devastating plague unleashed by the Vexer Collective, and the sundering of Sol had forged them into a resilient, relentless species. They were no longer merely survivors, they were conquerors, diplomats, and dreamers. The United Systems of Humanity, USH, had spread across hundreds of worlds, leaving their mark on every corner of the galaxy. But as the galaxy entered the new era, whispers of an ancient threat began to surface. The Nixthara, a race long believed to be myth, were awakening from their slumber deep in the galactic core, and with them came tales of a weapon capable of erasing entire civilizations in the blink of an eye. Chapter 1, The Vanguard's Call. Captain Elena Drake of the starship Resolute stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the holographic map projected before her. A distress beacon had been detected from the Larian Expanse, an uncharted region bordering the Nixthara legends. "Commander Reyes," she said, turning to her second-in-command, "prepare the crew, we leave orbit in 10 minutes." Reyes nodded, his expression grim. "You really think the stories are true, Captain, about the Nixthara?" Drake's jaw tightened. "I don't know, but if there's even a chance they are, we need to be ready. Humanity's survived worse, we'll survive this too." Chapter 2, The Alliance. As the Resolute entered the Larian Expanse, they were met with an unexpected sight. A flotilla of alien ships, bearing the banners of former enemies, the Zilthari and the Vexer Collective, hovered near a massive, derelict structure. It was unmistakably Nixthran. Elena activated the comms. "This is Captain Drake of the United Systems starship Resolute. State your purpose." An imposing figure appeared on the screen. It was Catherine, a Zilthari warlord renowned for his campaigns against humanity decades ago. "Human," he rumbled, his voice like grinding stone, "we face a common foe. The Nixthara rise, and they will spare no one, not even your kind." Elena's crew exchanged uneasy glances. The idea of allying with their old enemies was unthinkable to some, but to Elena, the choice was clear. "Then we fight together. Humanity doesn't back down." Chapter 3, The Forge of Unity. The uneasy alliance forged aboard the Resolute quickly found itself tested. As they explored the Nixthran ruins, the team encountered automated defense systems that had lain dormant for millennia. Each skirmish forced the crew to rely on their alien allies, breaking down barriers forged in the fires of war. Drake stood shoulder to shoulder with Catherine Vrex, a Vexer scientist, as they deciphered ancient Nixthran glyphs. Vrex's mechanical limbs whirred as he examined the engravings. This is a star map," he said, his synthetic voice tinged with awe. "It points to the core of their empire, the Black Nexus." Kath grunted. "If the Nexus holds their weapon, we must destroy it. Humanity, Zilthari, Vexer, we fight as one." Chapter 4, The Battle for the Nexus. The journey to the Black Nexus was fraught with peril. Nixthran ships, sleek, black vessels bristling with weapons, descended on the Allied fleet like shadows given form. For every ship the Alliance lost, they destroyed 3 Nixthran vessels, but the cost was steep. Elena stood on the bridge, barking orders as the Resolute took it after hit. "Divert power to the shields, Reyes, give me firing solutions on those cruisers." Kath's flagship moved to cover the Resolute, its heavy cannons tearing through enemy ranks. "Do not falter, humans," Kath roared over the comms. "This is the battle that will be sung for generations." Chapter 5, Humanity's Light. Reaching the Nexus, the Allied forces found themselves outnumbered and outgunned. The Nixthran weapon, a titanic construct glowing with malevolent energy, loomed before them. Drake made her choice. "We'll buy you time," she told Rex and Catherine. "Get inside the weapon and disable it." The Resolute led the charge, drawing enemy fire as Kath's assault teams breached the Nexus. Vrex's expertise proved vital in navigating the ancient systems, while Kath's warriors held off wave after wave of Nixthran drones. Finally, as the weapon began to power up, Vrex initiated a catastrophic overload. "It's done," he called over the comms. "We have to go, now." Epilogue, a new dawn. The Nexus erupted in a blinding explosion, its destruction sending shockwaves across the galaxy. The Allied fleet limped away, battered but victorious. On the bridge of the Resolute, Drake addressed her crew and allies. Today, we proved that no matter our differences, we are stronger together. The new era is ours to shape. And so, humanity entered the new era not as conquerors, but as leaders of a united galaxy. Their epic saga would continue, with new alliances, new challenges, and new legends to forge among the stars. HFY Forever. HFY Stories, The New Era, The Awakening. Chapter 6, Shadows of the Past. The destruction of the Black Nexus had brought the galaxy a fragile peace, but the victory was far from complete. Debris from the Nixthran construct scattered into nearby systems, emitting strange energy signatures. Rumors spread of rogue fleets and ancient artifacts capable of reshaping the laws of reality. Captain Drake leaned over the hollow console in her quarters aboard the Resolute. The room was dim, the only light from the shifting star map before her. The briefing from High Command had been clear: investigate the energy anomalies, but proceed with caution. The door chimed. Come in. Cath strode in, his imposing frame dwarfing the doorway. You're troubled, Captain, he rumbled. Do you fear the Nixthara will return? Drake sighed. They may already be here. These energy readings, they're unlike anything we've seen. What if the Nexus wasn't just a weapon? What if it was a gate? Cath's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Then we will fight again. Humanity and its allies have faced worse. Let's hope we're ready, Drake said, her voice resolute, because the galaxy might not survive a second awakening. Chapter 7, The Forgotten Front. The Resolute's mission led them to the edges of the Ether Rift, a region of space consumed by swirling, iridescent storms. Scanners struggled to pierce the interference, but what little they revealed was alarming. A derelict Nixthran vessel, larger than any the crew had encountered before. Commander Reyes studied the display, his brow furrowed. That thing is the size of a small moon. What was it doing out here? Vrex's synthetic voice crackled over the comms from the science lab. Preliminary scans suggest it was a colony ship, Captain, but it's emitting a faint biosignal. Something's alive in there. Cath's claws scraped the railing. If the Nixthara are waking, we must strike now. Drake nodded. Agreed. Reyes, assemble a boarding party. Let's see what we're dealing with. Chapter 8, Echoes of Eternity. The boarding party stepped onto the Nixthran ship, their suits' lights barely cutting through the oppressive darkness. The interior was a maze of organic metal, pulsating faintly as if the ship itself were alive. Vrex's voice came through the comms. Careful, these energy readings. They're unstable. Cath led the way, his plasma axe at the ready. Let them come, I will show them the strength of the Zilthari. The team reached a massive chamber, its walls adorned with glowing glyphs. At its center stood a crystalline structure, shimmering with an inner light. As they approached, the glyphs began to shift, forming a language they could understand. We are the Nixthara, we do not forget, we do not forgive, the galaxy will kneel. Before anyone could react, the crystal pulsed, sending out a wave of energy. The ship trembled, and shapes began to emerge from the shadows. Nixthran drones, their sleek forms crackling with energy. Defensive positions, Drake ordered, her pulse rifle blazing. Vrex, find a way to shut that thing down. Chapter 9, The Cost of Victory. The fight was brutal. The drones were faster, stronger, and seemingly endless. Cath fought like a force of nature, cutting down enemies with each swing of his axe. Reyes covered the flank, his precise shots finding weak points in the drone's armor. Meanwhile, Vrex worked frantically at the crystalline structure. This isn't just a beacon, it's a seed. They're using it to reconstruct themselves. Drake's heart sank. Can you stop it? I can destroy it, Vrex said, but it will destabilize the entire ship. We'll have minutes to escape. Do it, Drake said without hesitation. We can't let this thing spread. Chapter 10, A Galaxy United. The Resolute barely escaped as the Nixthran ship disintegrated in a cascade of energy. The explosion tore through the ether rift, leaving behind a shattered, silent void. Back aboard the ship, Drake addressed the crew. The Nixthara aren't just waking up, they're rebuilding. The Nexus wasn't the end, it was the beginning. Cath stepped forward, his voice firm. Then we must strike before they regain their strength. Humanity's alliance has proven its worth, now we must expand it. Drake nodded, agreed. We'll reach out to every species, every corner of the galaxy. The Nixthara wanted us divided, instead, they'll face a united galaxy. Epilogue, the dawn of unity. As the Resolute prepared for its next mission, the galaxy began to rally. Messages poured in from every corner, once isolated species offering aid, fleets assembling under the banner of unity. In the face of an ancient enemy, humanity had once again become the spark that ignited hope. And so, the new era entered its next phase, not as an age of fear, but as a time of unprecedented unity. Together, the galaxy would stand, together, they would fight, and together, they would ensure that the Nixthara's legacy would end in darkness. The epic saga continued, and the galaxy's greatest stories were yet to be written. HFY forever. HFY Stories, The New Era, The Veil of Eternity. Chapter 11, The Council of Unity. In a chamber carved from the asteroid-turned capital known as Haven Prime, representatives from across the galaxy gathered. The Grand Unity Council had been formed, a historic assembly that brought humanity, Zulthari, Vexa, and dozens of other species together. Their purpose, to create a strategy against the awakening Nixthara and prepare for the galaxy-wide conflict that loomed ahead. Captain Elena Drake stood before the council, her uniform crisp, her voice unwavering. We face an enemy unlike any we've encountered before. The Nixthara are not just powerful, they're patient, methodical, and ancient. To defeat them, we must combine not just our fleets, but our knowledge, our technologies, and our resolve. A representative of the Alaris, a telepathic species known for their neutrality, spoke. Captain Drake, your victories are commendable, but what you propose is unprecedented. Sharing technology and secrets could upset the balance of power once the war ends. Cath stood, his imposing frame and growling voice silencing any murmurs. If we lose, there will be no balance of power, only the ashes of our worlds. The council erupted into debates, but eventually, a resolution was passed. The Grand Alliance would pool its resources and create a new fleet, armed with the best each species could offer. They would call it the Veil Armada. Chapter 12, Seeds of Hope. Construction of the Veil Armada began in orbit around Haven Prime. Massive shipyards worked tirelessly to forge vessels that combined humanity's ingenuity, Zulthari strength, and Vexa precision. Among them was the Aurora Vanguard, the flagship of the new fleet, a testament to the unity of the galaxy. Drake walked through the Vanguard's main hangar, watching as crews from dozens of species worked side by side. It was a sight she never thought she'd see, old enemies collaborating, blending their strengths into something greater. Captain, Reyes said, walking beside her, the first wave of ships will be ready in 2 weeks. Intel suggests the Nixthara are concentrating their forces near the Androthes Abyss. If we strike there, we might disrupt their reconstruction efforts. Drake nodded, and we'll test the Armada in battle. Let's hope it's ready. Chapter 13, The Abyss Awakens. The Androthes Abyss was a swirling, chaotic region of space, its gravity wells and black holes making navigation treacherous. It was here the Nixthara had chosen to regroup, their ships blending with the void. The Aurora Vanguard led the charge, flanked by hundreds of allied vessels. Drake stood on the bridge, her gaze unwavering. Reyes, deploy scouts, I want a clear picture of what we're up against. Moments later, the scouts reported back, Captain, we're detecting hundreds of ships. But there's something else, a massive construct at the center of their fleet. It's emitting energy off the charts. Vrex's voice crackled through the calms. Captain, it's a forge. The Nixthara use it to replicate their technology at an accelerated rate. If it's operational, their fleet will be endless. Then we destroy it, Drake said. All ships, prepare for battle. Chapter 14, The Forge of Despair. The battle was chaos incarnate. The Nixthara swarmed the allied fleet, their sleek black ships maneuvering with deadly precision. But the Veil Armada was no ordinary fleet. Humanity's experimental plasma lances tore through enemy formations, while Zulthari dreadnoughts provided impenetrable shields. Vexa drones, controlled with pinpoint accuracy, weaved between enemy ships, planting explosive charges. Drake barked orders as the Vanguard's cannons rained fire on the forge. Focus all firepower on that construct. We can't let it remain intact. As the forge began to crack under the onslaught, it unleashed a countermeasure, a massive energy pulse that disabled several allied ships. The Vanguard shook violently as systems flickered. Reyes, reroute power, we can't let up. Kath's voice roared over the calms. Human, we are with you, the forge will fall. With a final, concentrated assault, the forge erupted in a blinding explosion, taking a significant portion of the Nixthran fleet with it. Chapter 15, Aftermath and Revelation. The Allies had won the day, but at great cost. Hundreds of ships were lost, and the fleet limped back to Haven Prime. Drake stood in the Vanguard's observation deck, staring out at the stars. Vrex joined her, his voice solemn. The forge was just one of many. The Nixthara have spread these constructs across the galaxy. Destroying them all will take years. Drake nodded, her expression steeled. Then we'll destroy them one by one. We've proven we can fight them. Now we need to find a way to finish this war. A message from the Alaris Council interrupted their conversation. The telepathic envoy spoke in a grave tone. Captain, we've uncovered something in the debris of the forge. Coordinates leading to the heart of the Nixthran Empire. Drake's heart raced. Their home world? Not just their home world, the envoy replied. It's where they keep the Nexus core, their central consciousness. Destroy it, and we destroy them. Epilogue, the final path. The revelation sparked both hope and fear across the galaxy. To strike at the heart of the Nixthran Empire was a gamble that could end the war, or doom them all. As preparations began for the final offensive, Drake addressed the council. This is our moment. Every story, every struggle, has led us here. The Nixthara thought they could outlast us, but they underestimated the one thing that unites us all, our will to survive. Together, we will bring this war to an end. And so, the galaxy's greatest alliance prepared for its ultimate trial. The path ahead was perilous, but humanity and its allies had proven time and again that they were more than survivors. They were the future. HFY forever.